central bank digital currencies, a cashless society, and the arguments for it are clear. It'll be quick, easy, cheap to transact. There'll be no problems at all, no loose change lying around. There'll be lots and lots of arguments for it. Well, this week, the Chancellor of the Exchequer and the Bank of England have said by 2030, Britcoin, a central bank digital currency, will be up and running. It will, to begin with, be limited in scope, but with huge ambitions for the years to come. I think this could pose some real threats. It actually gives government pretty much total control over our lives because they can just press a button and close our bank accounts. No, they wouldn't do that now, would they? Well, think about it. Those Canadian truckers, they were legally and lawfully going about their business driving trucks, but legislation came in demanding that unless they'd been double vaxxed, they couldn't continue in their cabins doing long-distance lorry driving. And they protested, and in the end, their bank accounts were closed down by the Canadian government. Well, with the central bank digital currency, anyone that decides to stand up and fight against the government could be pressed down simply with the push of a button. That is joining me this evening. Just explain central bank digital currencies. This isn't just the Bank of England considering this, is it?
Exactly. Currently, more than 90% of central banks globally are all working on bringing out a central bank digital currency. And I think it's really important to elaborate on what exactly that is. A central bank digital currency is basically what we have now. So it's fiat currency, but it's going to be entirely digital, which means absolutely in the control of the government and the central bank. So as you mentioned, governments, since they own it, they're able to program it in a way that we've never seen before. So as you said, if for whatever reason you don't do as you're told and you don't take 3 vaccines, 4 vaccines, or whatever it is, the money can just be programmed to be used against you. The perfect example is right now we're living during this supposed climate crisis where they want to implement a carbon allowance. So how do you do that? Well, it's very simple. You just program the money in a way that you cannot do with the current cash that we have. You program the money. So if, for example, you have a barbecue and you want to buy some steaks, some burgers, some sausages, whatever it is, you could actually reach your carbon allowance. And when you go to fill up your car, it could get declined because you reach your carbon allowance. So it's a really efficient way for governments to implement their political and woke agendas through the money.
Well, all of this, of course, Leah, all of this will be denied at every stage by government. But when you look at the incredible overreach of government over the course of the last few years, nothing is impossible. Now, I know that you are a great advocate for Bitcoin, perhaps for other cryptocurrencies too. And it's, this program is not here to give investment advice, but I'm thinking to myself, if we move towards full central bank digital currencies, and I don't want government to control potentially every aspect of my life, presumably this could be the biggest thing that's ever happened to Bitcoin.
Absolutely. During the time of the truckers, we used to say that Justin Trudeau was the best advocate for Bitcoin, because with Bitcoin, when you hold it correctly in a non-custodial wallet, which means outside of any CEO or centralized control, nobody can freeze it. Nobody can touch your funds as long as it's in a non-custodial wallet. And that's the most important thing. And, you don't have to buy Bitcoin for an investment purposes. It's about being a sovereign individual, because money is the energy which fuels your life. So if you don't have control of your money, you don't have control over anything. And you, in my opinion, really just become a slave, because if the government can make your money expire, if the government can freeze it in the name of terrorism or national security, then what freedom do you have in society as an individual? You have none. And that's why, of course, I'm a huge advocate for Bitcoin, because nobody can touch it. There's no CEO. There's no centralized authority, fully decentralized, in the control of just you.
And if you think this is just some big conspiracy theory, China is already doing this with their digital yuan. You can see right here, China's CBDC is linked to your digital ID. They have face scanning for access to lunch in this cafeteria. Cost of the meal is around 2.5 digital yuans. It's automatically deducted from their bank accounts via their digital wallets. While it is very convenient, while it is very fast, while it is actually really good technology, when you start to think of the limitations they can put on your digital yuan wallet, it actually becomes kind of scary. They can kind of stop you from traveling. If you do something bad, they can completely freeze your account. They can control you however they want to control you. If they say, hey, the whole country can't buy milk for the next 2 weeks, then instantaneously you're not going to be able to buy milk just by putting a little bit of code into some server somewhere, and you won't be able to purchase that milk or whatever they want to say, basically, guys. So this isn't some conspiracy theory. This is already happening. You see in the video clip we just showed, they're talking about implementing it in Great Britain and the UK. And if you think that it's never going to come here to the United States, you might want to think again. Let's check out this article here. Sure, you guys remember back in 2022 when Joe Biden gave the executive order to look into cryptocurrency regulations, stablecoin regulation. So this is the article that came out in result to that. This is directly from the White House's website. You can go to whitehouse.gov and look this up. And if you come down here and see what they have to say about central bank digital currencies, they put it all the way at the bottom of the article here. A U.S. CBDC, a digital form of the U.S. dollar, has the potential to offer significant benefits. It could enable a payment system that is more efficient, provides a foundation for further technology innovation, facilitates faster cross-border transactions, and is environmentally sustainable. It could promote financial inclusion and equity by enabling access for a broad set of consumers. In addition, it could foster economic growth and stability, protect against cyber operational risks, safeguard the privacy of sensitive data, and minimize risk of illicit financial transactions. This is actually really funny because back in 2022, the U.S. government had a huge data leak, and Russian hackers were allowed to pull a lot of sensitive data from the United States. A potential U.S. CBDC also helps preserve U.S. global financial leadership and support the effectiveness of sanctions, but a CBDC could also have unintended consequences, including runs to CBDC in times of stress. So you guys can pause the video and read the rest of this, but it's basically just saying that, hey, we're going to continue to look into CBDCs. We're going to continue to do more research, but it doesn't say anything about how this would potentially give the government complete control and access over your funds. The U.S. going cashless. If there is no cash anymore and everything is in a digitalized wallet, it's very hard for you to have any type of privacy from the government, especially when you have to transact through that wallet. So this CBDC topic has been a hot topic here over the past year and a half since these governments have started to try to implement these around the world. And you can see here, Bitcoin is actually the solution to central bank digital currency because you have that limited supply, it's decentralized, you have the clear monetary policy, you know exactly how many Bitcoins is going to be released every single day. It's open and permissionless. You can send it at any time. Nobody can tell you can't send it. It's unconfiscatable if you have it in a hardware wallet. Not your keys, not your crypto. Don't have it on a centralized exchange, but if you have it on like a ledger, a treasure, the Bitcoin is completely yours and nobody can take it away from you if they don't have your private keys. It's anonymous, so it's not linked to your identity. And there's also censorship resistance. No one group of people or one person can, edit, change, or corrupt the Bitcoin system. So the CBDC, as you can see, is completely different. It has an unlimited supply. It's centralized. The government controls it. Opaque monetary policy. We have interest rates rising, lowering. We have money printing, quantitative tightening, quantitative easing. So the monetary policy is just kind of whatever they feel like doing at the moment. They can cause recessions by just raising interest rates, or they could just cause a whole bunch of money to go out into the market by printing trillions and trillions of dollars. It doesn't matter. They do what they want. It's not private at all, especially if cash goes away. They will basically be able to see all of your transactions. So it just enables a lot of censorship on your money. So people need to realize Bitcoin is not like a CBDC. You guys need to start to educate your friends and your family because a lot of people just don't even understand the difference between these two. And I'm sure a lot of people don't even understand what a CBDC is, but you should start educating your friends and your family about what the difference is between these two, because I think this is actually going to be a benefit to Bitcoin in the future as we start to see these CBDCs roll out, because they are coming, guys, and the United States will have their own CBDC. When we start to see these roll out, people are going to say, hey, I don't want the government to have total control over my money. How can I opt out? And that answer is actually Bitcoin. So let me know what you guys think about all that in the comment section below. But I definitely think Bitcoin is the solution to a central bank digital currency. Even if you don't use the Bitcoin as a currency, you just hold it as a store of value, it still allows you to opt out from saving in dollars. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching all the way to the end of today's video. My name is Aaron from the Bitcoin Bros. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.